you. Take the headset off. It takes forever. I was starving. I haven't had anything since 6 in the morning. And then, boom, I thought I'd sneak in a banana. Bad move.
Joined now by our Friday regular, Canucks Insider, one half of the team, Donnie and Dolly. Weekdays on Czech Television from 10 to 12. It's a very cranky Rick Dhaliwal.
Well, I'm trying to get out of here. I haven't eaten anything since 6 this morning. And Sekeres is talking to Henderson about some golf trip.
Because some of us have to do the organization on your behalf.
Yes, we'll do it on your time.
Our dear friend Alan Chris Manson up at the Whistler
Golf Club. I love Al.
Club.
Big Al. He's a great guy.
Great track. Great track. I love Whistler. Is trying to get us all up there together this year so we can have a little showdown match play and have some fun. So I'm just trying to get that organized with Ryan, who is your scheduler.
Yeah.
And I talked to Ryan once.
There's 12 hours still left in the day, Matt.
Sure. And when I called you Wednesday to talk about this, you didn't answer and you didn't return the phone call. So at that point, I'm forced to go.
Wow, didn't return
through Ryan Henderson.
No, I did not. I love Matt, and when Matt calls in Texas, I always
except for this week.
Price calls. Hey, just listen to me. If I see a text or a call from Price, ignore. Mm-hmm. I won't answer it. But Sekeres is 100%. I was busy at the time. I forgot to get back to you, Matt.
That's all right. What I'm getting concerned about is that this neck injury you have is affecting your attitude and your disposition.
Boy, he is
Ricky.
He is prickly. I've never texted him in my life.
I've had a stiff, hard neck for a couple of weeks now. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's the pillow.
You just got material for your next Dhaliwal intro.
Listen,
just trying to sneak in a banana every now and then.
Exactly, potassium.
Hey, do you guys like the skinny pillows or the thicker ones that are hard? I like the hard ones.
Skinny.
And I don't like the ones where your head goes all the way down. Anyways, I think it's my pillow causing the problem, so I'm fluxed with what's
I like a
going on
larger
with my
pillow,
neck.
must be said. You know,
like a big pillow that squishes flat.
Good density in the pillow.
Pillows are important. Pillows are very important.
And I like it to keep its density. Not deflate.
Yeah. Oh, I love the deflation. The deflation.
I hate the skinny ones.
Yeah.
The ones that turn into nothing, and then you might as well just be sleeping on the mattress.
Okay, who'll be sleeping in Vancouver sometime soon, Rick? Because the college free agents are starting to come fast and furious.
So, guys, Minnesota State right shot defenseman Jake Livingstone. He's a kid out of Creston, British Columbia, BC boy who played for the Langley Rivermen. Also had a short stint with the Merritt Centennials back in 2016. A lot of people thought he's going to end up in Vancouver, BC boy. A lot of kids growing up in BC, the dream is to play for your hometown province, right? A lot of teams are in on him. I was told this morning, not hearing that it's going to happen for Livingston at this moment, not going to happen for Livingstone in Vancouver. Now, look, guys, there's a multitude of things that go into a decision for a college player or a free agent on July 1st. You got to look at the farm team. You got to look at opportunity. You got to look at what's the quickest way for a player to get to the National Hockey League. You also got to remember these players coming out of college, most of them are 24, right? What's the quickest way? What are the teams saying to the advisors? They didn't wake up and make a decision in the last 24, 48 hours. Mm-hmm. They've had, over the course of the winter and the season and going back. Look, Livingstone could have come out last year. He didn't come out last year. So the same teams that were in on him last year, the same teams that would be in on him this year. So they got a pretty good idea, the player and the advisors, who's in it, who's not. It's just not made up in the last 24 48 hours.
Can I ask a follow-up here?
Yep.
Did the acquisition of Hronek and then the extensions for Brisebois and Wolanin, did that seal the deal there? Do you think he would have considered them before the addition of Hronek and those two guys being re-upped?
That's a great question, and I'm going to tell you something right now. This is my opinion. I can't speak on the behalf of the advisor. I can't speak on behalf of Livingstone. I can't do that. That would be incorrect to me to speak on their behalf. But when I look at what's happening with the Canucks right now, Wolanin signed, Brisebois signed, Dan, they're talking to Juulsen. I fully expect, like, I would be shocked if they don't get Juulsen done. And, okay, so there's 3 guys going back to Abbotsford. And one thing that nobody's talking about right now is this Philip Johansson, who's in Sweden.
Right.
He's going to come to Vancouver next year. Some people internally in the Canucks, very high on him. Some people think he's going to, fight for a job in Vancouver at training camp. But I've got him penciled in for Abbotsford. So I've just named you 4 defensemen in Abbotsford. Yeah. Abbotsford's getting crowded on the blue line, and we haven't even finished this season, guys. And we're talking about next season, guys. So those factor, Hronek, right shot D, obviously, and so a lot of factors go into it. So I can't speak. I was told, I checked in this morning, and I was told that as of right now, not hearing that he's going to, it's going to be anything happening in Vancouver for him.
What about his defense partner, Akito Hirose? We hear very good things about him and the Canucks.
Oh, boy. Canucks like his defensive partner, Akito Hirose, another BC Hockey League kid, I think, salmon arm. Yep. But I talked to his advisor last night. They haven't decided yet if he's going to come out. If he comes out, that'll be quite the battle for this guy. I tell you, they really like him a lot. I also want to get this in. Several teams are after Western Michigan center Max Sasson, including the Vancouver Canucks. As of this morning, the Canucks are in on that. And also the Canucks are in on a defenseman. This one is probably Malinsky out of Cornell.
That's he's still
the one
playing.
I want you to,
he's still playing. They won.
He's still playing. That's a guy. That's a guy. Right shot D that I would keep an eye on.
Sasson, sure. The Western Michigan forward. We've also heard Jason Poland, the winger at Western Michigan, as somebody.
Look, Matt, they got their irons in the fire with a ton of guys. Yep. I don't know them all, but I can tell you something else I heard this morning. The Canucks have made an American Hockey League offer to an NCAA player. I heard that this morning. I'm still trying to get that verified. So, it's just not signing these NCAA guys to NHL contracts. Teams, there was a team the other day that signed, Elliot Friedman had it, a kid out of Prince George signed an American Hockey League contract out of the NCAA. Canucks could do that as well, and that's the rumor I heard this morning. There was a centerman, McCowan, that signed with Columbus on Monday or Tuesday. The Canucks checked in on him. They had interest on him. So they're out there. One thing I've known, and I told you guys this 2 weeks ago, and it's the center ice position. It's the right shot D position. It seems to me that the Canucks are out there looking for right shot D and centerman. The departure of Bo Horvat is going to cause a lot of problems. And as I told you guys 2 weeks ago, expect the Canucks to go after a third-line center on July 1st. They need somebody that can fill in big minutes when there's an injury to Pettersson and Miller. They need a good face-off guy in that third center. They need a good penalty-killing guy at that third-line center. And so these are the positions the Canucks are out there looking for.
Obviously, you go down this road if you're the Canucks because it's an easy road to go down. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah,
but so is the European free agent thing, and that's where they actually have now a track record in this organization with Nils Åman and with Kuzmenko. Do you suspect that starts to become a pretty fast and furious pursuit over the next 6 weeks?
Yeah, I talked to an agent in Sweden a few days ago, and I said, "You got any clients, and that might be up for UFA status free agency?" And he said no, but he definitely got a call from the Canucks that were sniffing around defensemen. Like I said, guys, it's common sense tells you where the Canucks need to get better, not only in Vancouver but depth-wise. By trading so many first and second rounders in the last 3 or 4 years, it's really hurt the franchise. And where it really hurts you is in Abbotsford, where you always need defensemen in the, young guy coming up that's banging on the door at the NHL level. And that's obviously where they've missed. Now, Kuzmenko was great. Niles Zaman, I give them a ton of credit because Colorado didn't re-sign him. And this Philip Johansson, same thing as Niles Zaman. Minnesota didn't sign him, so the Canucks said, hey, we're going to go in there, take a peek, take a look. Canucks really like him a lot. So you know what? That's really good work by the organization. They got 3 players in Kuzmenko, Aman, and Johansson who didn't cost them anything. And that's how you got to start pecking away and rebuild that cupboard for prospects. You got to get that prospect cupboard full again. And it's been pretty skimpy lately, but they're doing a good job of starting to, bulk up again.
So have you heard if they're in on this Hardy Haman Akhtel, the left shot defenseman, European free agent from Sweden?
No, I haven't, Matt. And I've been so busy with the NCAA stuff.
No problem.
And the Jake Livingstone was a big one for me because everybody thought he was going to end up in Vancouver, and now it looks like that's not going to be the case.
Too bad. Lennon gets the contract, then gets hurt, and you told us things looking good for Juulsen. What about Burroughs, Kyle Burroughs?
Yeah, that's a great question. The Canucks have not called the agent Ross Gurney for Kyle Burroughs yet. He's a free agent. Surprises me. Not many defend teammates better than he does. He never complains or bitches or whines. That's the other one, eh? He's been a healthy scratch many times. He goes out and does his job when he's called upon, gets the tap on the shoulder. You always hear hockey people use the word character a lot. Well, that's a good way to describe Kyle Burroughs. Look, they went out and signed Wolanin. They signed Brisebois. They're talking to Juulsen, but they have not called Kyle Burroughs' agent. Makes me wonder if, I don't know. I don't know what the thinking is there. I guess one phone call could change it, but he's a Langley kid. That's the dream, to play for the Canucks, right? And he's doing it.
If they anticipate a bumper crop of and by bumper crop I mean 2 college free agents, that might be enough to bump Burroughs out of a spot, right? Well,
but here's another one for you. This Philip Johansson guy, could he be a good 6-7 guy next year, right? And Burroughs has been that great 6-7 guy. When he comes in, and he can play higher in the lineup with injuries. He's been a good third pair guy. There's so much to like about Kyle Burroughs, but I just they're signing a ton of defensemen, and they have not called his agent Ross Gurney yet. The other one I want to tell you guys about is Ethan Bear's agent, Jason Davidson, when he's in town on Tuesday for the Canucks Vegas game. He's got players on both sides. No talks with Canucks management. They've not talked in a while. They remain far apart. Bears got Arbright. You guys know that. He is willing to take a 1-year deal, but I don't think the Canucks want that because he would walk to UFA status. Interesting to see how this plays out. I would think to you guys, I would say this to you guys. You got Hronek, okay, so you got your top pair right shot guy. My gut feeling is if the Canucks go out and get a left shot defenseman like a Gavrikov on July 1st, just spitballing here, you could always move OEL to the right side. I wonder if they're thinking as a Bear as a right shot guy in the third pair. I don't know. Like they spent all summer, guys, trying to get Bear out of Carolina. And it's interesting to me that
that is interesting. But I can also understand Bear's agent pushing for more, given the way he's played here. Well, I'm sorry, Rick. OEL on the right side, he's got enough trouble playing his strong side.
Okay, but Rick Tocchet did us all a big favor this week by telling us that OEL is going to have a great big year next year because he basically essentially told us that OEL is not going to be bought out, and it's an expensive buyout. Here's another one with these. I'm going to tell you something else right now.
Where's Myers in your little sketch there, though?
Myers, September 15th, Myers gets his $5 million bonus. I would suspect to you that Myers gets a whole lot easier to trade on September 16th, right?
Yeah.
So Myers is not going to be an issue moving next year, but the issue is going to be, is how. Okay, so the Canucks want a third line center July 1st. They might have interest in a defenseman. Well, how do you get it? Well, you got to buy out some players or make some trades before July 1st, and you got to do. And don't forget Holtby's coming off the books. Furlan's coming off. Holtby, so is Virtanen. They got some money freed up there as well.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, just, other guys are going on that list on LTI.
For sure. It never ends.
And I mean, to leave him, the dead money is going to be there for the Vancouver Canucks for a while. Yeah, they're not a particularly well-run organization, and that's what happens. But
okay, but let me get back to OEL.
But hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're telling me there's no OEL buyout,
Rick Tocchet said that. Don't put words in my mouth. Rick Tocchet said he's coming back next year.
Said that. He did not say that.
He said, did you not read the quote, Matt?
Yeah, I heard the quote, Rick,
he's going to be back next year. He's got a gleam in his eye, and I expect a big year out of him. What part of that don't you understand?
What I do know is I've been around long enough to know things change in sports.
Yeah, they do.
But the problem with Myers, Rick, is that September 16th is a particularly awkward time to try and trade a player because you've got teams that are already sort of sorting their roster or have their lineup for opening night sorted. So I don't dispute that they're going to be able to move him in season next year after some injuries and ineffectiveness pile up. But that might be an odd one to get off the books before they have to set their opening night roster next year.
Do we have it nailed down, guys, that they can't pay him before that? Like, I know they have to pay him by that, but can they not give him that $5 million whenever the hell they want?
No, there's contracts, Blake. Come on, man.
No, but the contract is to prevent is to protect the employee. It's to say we will guarantee give you money by this date.
I've never heard of a team giving a bonus that says in the contract September 15th on August 15th.
And I've also never heard of a player. Have you ever heard of a person turning down a $5 million check earlier than anticipated?
It's in the contract.
No,
Blake, are you serious? So when Blake Price, hold it a second.
Yes, absolutely serious. Yeah.
It's a great point. That way it makes them way more tradable.
No, it's not. If the contract says September 15th, and I'm sure if I called up J.P. Barry right now and asked him, J.P., can the Canucks give you his bonus on July 1st to accommodate Blake Price and Matt Sekeres, J.P. would probably laugh me off the phone.
If you phrase the question that way,
it's to facilitate a trade.
Well,
it's to facilitate a trade.
J.P. Barry would laugh at me if I asked that question.
We want to trade this guy. We realize it's a lot easier if we pay him the $5 million in July.
Stop. Are you guys into the Cheech and Chong stuff? Like,
no.
What the heck? They write contracts for a reason. You know when Blake Price had that little radio contract, and if the ratings book came out on February 15th, he was going to get a big fat bonus for the numbers so good on the Sekeres and Price show.
That's a trigger. That's a trigger. That's a trigger. We're just
the trigger here is September 15th, Blake. Are you really seriously that naive?
So if they said, if I had a contract, Rick, that said you get a Christmas bonus paid out on December the 20th, and they phoned me on December the 1st and said, can we give you that Christmas bonus now? Do you know what I say? Yeah, put it right fucking here. That's what I would say.
You're out to lunch. Okay, you know what?
I'm not.
No, you are. And
no, I'm not.
To make you two look stupid, after this, I'm going to call J.P. Barry and ask him. And next week on the show, I'll give you J.P. Barry's answer.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, please do.
What's the point of having contracts if you're going to change them up?
Here's a better question. Why are
to protect the employee?
Here's a better question. Why is this bonus being paid out on September 15th as opposed to in July like most bonuses? I've heard in the past that there are prescribed dates that the Aquilinis like to deliver bonuses because that's when they're more liquid. So look into that. Please ask JP that. Why September 15th, which makes it difficult on your hockey ops people, as opposed to July, when it would be a lot easier on your hockey ops people?
I can't speak to that. I don't know why it's
okay. Well, ask JP that too. At JP, go off, do your JP Barry homework. Report back next Friday.
No. I'll talk to JP what I want to. Don't tell me what to talk to JP about.
You offered.
Sekeres, you don't tell me how to work on stories. You know what is it with you two today? Hey, listen, I want to get this in. You just mentioned the owner there, Blake. So they just signed Wolanin, Brisebois, and Di Giuseppe. And one thing in common, all three of those guys got was extensions. They got 2 years. So their agents were like, yeah, okay, we'll take that. But they also got really good high money in the American League. So that tells me a couple things. First of all, guys, if all three play in Abbey next year, that payroll at Abbotsford is going to be pretty high. The owner's got to approve these big moves for the big money in Abbotsford. That tells me the ticket sales have to be strong in Abbotsford to support team in Abbotsford that has a potential. Okay, if you get
and they've been very good, Ricky, and they could go on a long playoff run, and so more money could be flowing in there.
Yeah, more money. But I'm just saying
that's a good news story for them.
Yeah, Nick Patan was getting, I think, over 400. These owners have to play a part. When you go to your ownership and say, I want to give a guy in Abbotsford $400,000 or $500,000, that's a lot of money, for Abbotsford, right, guys? Where the ticket prices are nowhere near what they are at the NHL level, right? So, anyways, they could have a pretty significant payroll in Abbotsford next year.
Marvelous stuff, Ricky. We'll let you get to lunch. Thank you for this, and catch up next Friday.
Adios.